It is a world of darkness. The sin of Cain has spawned the cursed horror that stalks the night in search of living blood. The kindred have long been a secret influence through all ages of human history, plotting against each other in a never-ending jihad. Their immortal progeny are among us to this day, hidden from the eyes of humanity by an elaborate masquerade.
start from a cleaner slate instead of like trying to hodgepodge previous ideas into like
totally
new
brand
thing.
new.
Yeah.
Like a Pathfinder D&D thing.
Right. Yeah. There you go. But yeah.
Music's dead.
Here we go. Haha. I remembered
Music's
to unmute
dead.
myself.
I was just gonna ask you.
Dishes are done, dude.
Yeah, exactly. The dishes are done, dude.
Boy, that's an oldie.
That is an oldie. Someone actually just brought that up on the way to the Easter
Pageant.
Yeah, the Easter pageant. They were talking about like favorite holiday, or they were talking about favorite movies in general. One of the people I was traveling with just like, yeah, like Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. So it was interesting. So took a trip down memory lane. I wasn't sure how everybody was going to think about my suggestions for Christmas movies. But the first one was a giveaway. I was like, yeah, I watch White Christmas every Christmas. Sometimes more than once. I love White Christmas, so that's easy enough. Die Hard was the other one. I wasn't sure the crowd I was with was going to take to that, but they're like, "Oh no, that was a great one." I'm like, okay, cool.
It's a Christmas movie.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas movie is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, it's a good one.
Let's see, that's not bad. If I was going to do a Muppet movie, though, Muppet Treasure Island.
I do love Muppet Treasure Island.
See, that
I like
one
Muppet
is
anything.
Great. That's a great movie.
Yeah. Mine is Christmas Carol, Scrooge, the one with the oh, what's his name?
Scrooge.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill
Yes,
Murray.
Scrooge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I
That's
love
good.
that. And Christmas Vacation. We watch it
Okay.
every year. We
Nice.
have said that we are the Griswolds.
Nice.
If you guys ever went on a family vacation with us, you would agree.
I cannot stand those Griswold movies, and I cannot stand the like the Fokker movies with Don't Meet the Fuckers and all that. Like,
Oh yeah.
it just any movie where you're watching it and it's like this choice is sane and this choice is wrong. You're like, just choose the left path, So
Yeah.
I haven't seen Meet the Fockers in like a long time.
I haven't
or
either.
that any of that series. I haven't watched any of that.
I don't think I've seen past one.
I'll also mix in for holiday movies. I'll also mix in The Ref with Dennis Leary.
Oh yeah.
Which is a
I
great
didn't think
holiday
about that
movie.
being a Christmas movie, but it is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that is my my Christmas trifecta.
Nope. I have to hear.
Movies.
I have to hear that an angel's got his wings every year, and you're gonna shoot out your eye.
Yeah.
I hated that one.
You'll shoot your eye out.
What an interesting time of year to be talking about that, because it seems like half the country got snow this week.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But not here.
Nope, not
Yeah.
here.
Never
No,
here.
Like
I have
85
I have a
degrees today.
tendency of bringing it with me. First time in Phoenix, I brought snow with me.
Please do.
First night
I'd
it was
like to
there.
do that. As long as I don't have to
And
be
then
on.
I went home. I went home for Christmas and came back, and it snowed again. So people were telling me, "You're not leaving ever again."
All right. So does somebody want to give us a recap of what happened last game?
I wasn't here.
All the more
There's
reason
my
for a
recap.
recap.
All right, Todd, tell us what happened last week.
So last week, Henry slept a lot. All right, your turn.
It's like the shortest verse. It's like the shortest verse in the Bible. Instead of Jesus wept, it's Henry slept.
Henry slept.
Henry slept.
Henry slept.
So last week we continued. We started out at the Drachenflügel.
Mm-hmm.
Agea and resisted throwing down with Lily, and because Agea is Gargoyle and Lily is Tremere.
Oh, gee, that's right.
And instead she fled and Trudy and Remus followed her out to the parking lot and called for a cleanup.
Yeah, clean up an aisle 9.
And that was really funny because I just took a guess that the Giovanni would probably have a cleanup crew, and apparently they did. So some dude came and drove away the car with the body in it, and Agea went home, and Remus had a new life crisis about killing people, and
Another
then
one.
another one because it was probably a Tuesday. And then we called Dr. Prestor to see how the girl was getting along. And we went to his office and talked to the girl, who has yet to, like, we sort of gave her the rules of being a vampire, but in a sort of vague way, giving her a choice.
Yeah, she's
Not
got a
like they have a choice, but since she's 14, it was kind of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dr. Prester said that he could change her back.
Yeah, the dun 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 moment.
What?
So we followed him back to his haven and are
His well, actually,
watching,
that's true. Yeah, that's right. It was his haven.
It was his
and
haven.
and we're watching the procedure.
Yep. And that was where we left off our cliffhanger.
Yep.
Yeah, he has that serum untested that he's been working on for over 100 years. We don't know if it'll work.
And Lily's already trying to figure out how we can bank on that, and she's not even the Ventru.
But the theory is that you need to be super fresh and like not consume any blood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, he may or may not be Louis Pasteur.
I think
I
he is.
remember that.
That was an OOC revelation for the season 4 finale,
Right.
but it's never been brought up in character. So,
Was Henri present for all that, or did he bail us in some way, shape, or form? Just he was just an
He was
NPC.
with.
I don't remember where Henri was.
I think he was with us, just being quiet,
yeah,
because he was at the table and never left.
Okay.
yeah,
You were
yeah.
you were there at the Drachenflugel, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I went to the drag.
Okay. Yeah, then you probably just followed us.
Yep.
Okay.
Because
I'm
they
sure
went
you
directly there to the so he has placed the needles in her arm and is giving the serum to her through her bloodstream. And he, after he has laid her down and strapped her in for her own security and safety, he motions everybody out of the room and closes the door to let it take hold.
Does he stay in the room or does he exit the room too?
He exits the room as well.
Okay. Ben's pacing back and forth in front of that door.
Okay. And he just looks to everybody and
there.
says, at this point, time will tell.
How long do you think?
I don't honestly know, but I would imagine we should give it at least 24 hours.
Is it all right to have her by herself in the room? She will not injure herself, or
She is strapped in.
you can injure yourself when you are strapped in.
Well, anybody thrashes around, they could injure themselves.
This is why I ask.
I intend on keeping an eye on her. She's not going to be in there all by herself, but I'm giving her some privacy at this point.
I understand.
Was she after you gave her the injections?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How was she after you gave her the injections?
It is hard to say. I'm going to wait until the serum is finished getting into her system, and I will check to see if she has vital signs.
So this is experimental. Is it you have a success rate, or is there someone else that has survived this conversion?
Uh, no, there is no success rate. It is a complete experiment.
Right.
This is not exactly something you could go around marketing for test subjects.
And if the transformation is successful, what do you propose to do about that?
Well, I would imagine that would be up to the Baron and perhaps her group to decide.
Well, if she survives, that means either didn't work or she's human, right? I mean, if
I suppose it depends upon how we're quantifying that. If she survives and reverts, then I suppose that's one conversation. If she does not survive, that would be another. If she survives and it has no effect, then I suppose there are other options that must be discussed or observed.
right.
What do you suppose this serum would do to a seasoned vampire?
I perish the thought. I would imagine, given the fact that the intention is to strip the supernatural vitae from the body, if someone was seasoned, I would imagine it would
Kill them?
kill another vampire, if not place them completely in torpor.
So it could be used as a weapon.
I
Indeed.
would rather not do such a thing, but
Well, of course, if it gets out there that it existed, then you wouldn't really have control over how it's being used.
assuming somebody had access to my notes.
well, then keep those notes under lock and key, Doc.
That is the intention. I only even approached this because of the dire situation that this girl happened to be in. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shared any of this with you.
Well, it's good that you did. Appreciate it. It's the right thing.
What amount of protection do you have in your household?
So, I mean, he looks around. Outside of myself, it's rather Spartan. I'm not exactly the mystical type that can place wards or a number of booby traps, such as Nosferatu havens.
I would think, Benjamin, that we would probably want to guard this facility to make sure she is protected,
Yeah.
as well as a good doctor.
If you have room for us, Doc, or at least me.
I could probably, it's not going to be exactly comfortable, but I imagine I could arrange for something. There's couch and chairs. And of course, the house is already suited for my needs, so it would be suitable to keep the light out for any of you.
I'm small. I can just sleep on top of bed.
On top of bed? Is this a relationship I did not know about, or
No,
is
I
this
was
just a
I was
flirting
attempt-
method?
I was attempting to be funny. Sorry.
Ah,
It looks like I failed again.
Well, I don't blame you.
he's a strapping man, I guess.
He is looking rather dapper these days.
I try. But, yeah, and I'll go check out a nearby couch, see which one's the most comfortable.
Okay.
Ben walks off.
All of the furniture in here, because it's not like he's a man of much wealth. Most of what you see in here is like Goodwill stuff, repurposed. Just it's all used. Nothing terribly damaged or whatnot, but it's not like they match very well. But
Poor
it's got
Ventru.
what's that?
I said the poor Ventru. That sleep on Goodwill.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Henry, we're very much at home here.
so
It's a step up.
Yeah.
what time is it at this point?
It is. Tell you what, you guys have been active for a bit. It is 4 a.m.
Oh, gee.
So it's
Getting close to
getting
daytime.
on.
Yeah, it's getting close to daylight hours.
So are we hunkering down here then? Is
I'm
that the
going to
plan?
say yes.
I want to give Robert a call real fast to see how he fared with Zach.
Okay.
And I'll make a phone call to let my people know where I am because they're gonna want to keep track.
Right.
Yeah, Lily will call her so-called parents.
I think this is the first time, like, pretty much ever, that Trudy is not with her people or Malcolm.
Good point. Yep.
You normally have an entourage. This is true.
They're
Yeah.
probably having kittens right now.
Trudy comes home. Meow, meow. It's like, oh my goodness, it was literal. What are we doing with all these cats? So Henri, Robert picks up, and he's like, yeah.
Robert, it's Henri.
Oh, sorry, I didn't recognize the number. I'm still kind of getting used to that. What's up, boss?
I know it is late. We are going to stay with the good doctor this evening. I want to see how you fared with Zachary. How did the conversation go?
He's wheezing the juice. Yeah, I it's hard to explain.
The last time we spoke, you said he was if I remember your words, he was weirded out. Is he still weirded out?
I would say he's somewhere between weirded out and on a medicinal high.
Well, he does partake of the marijuana. Is he self-medicating then?
On something.
Right. Well, I have this phone right here. If you need to get a hold of me, I am going to stay in for the day, and I will contact you tomorrow. But if there's anything you need, let me know, and I will contact you.
Do you want to send me the address in case something happens? Because you can't
it's a
really
good
do
idea.
much during the day, boss.
No, this is true. I look over at Ben, like at Trudy and Benjamin. I'm like, is he wants his address when I hang up? Can you help me to send him the text?
Yeah, I'll help.
All right. And Robert can come during the day to maybe check on us, just to drive by to make sure that everything is okay.
I'm sure
Or-
my people will be on it too.
That works. Robert, I will text you once I hang up the phone. And then Trudy has some people that are going to come by as well. What vehicle will you be driving so that they are not suspicious of another vehicle driving by?
Oh, good idea. I got a Honda Civic.
What is the color of this Civic?
Cobalt blue.
Cobalt blue. Okay.
I guess
will let
my
them-
people would know about that too.
No.
The car that they asked me to procure for them.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to be in the parents' station wagon.
I will let them know, and I will text you the address once I at this point.
Okay. Then, yeah. Well, you're gonna be asleep. Never mind. I'll talk to you in like 10 hours.
All right. Au revoir. Hang up. Go ahead. So Benjamin, if you would it be easier for you to tell me, or if I just text it in? Just
Here, just watch. It's not that tough. Learned a few years ago. So go ahead and send that.
Okay. Yep. So grabs the address and just types it up.
And Mr. D, is this cobalt blue Civic? Is this the vehicle that you got for Robert?
Oh, I wouldn't know. My people would have figured that out.
All right. Let's just to let them know that he will be driving by just to check on us during the day.
All right, I'll send a text to my people similarly.
Okay.
So I'm going to be texting my parents, letting them know that Zachary is doing the wacky weed, and not to worry too much about him, and to keep an eye out on both him and Robert,
Okay.
and that I will be home when the sun goes down.
Okay. They send you a message letting you know they'll keep their eyes out. Benjamin, as you have just gotten like a cushion underneath your head and you're pulling up
Yeah.
like an Afghan, your phone rings.
Kid. I look at who's calling.
It's actually oh, you don't shoot, I forgot his name. Hold on a second.
Oh,
Where are we at? I gotta go way down here, don't I? Yeah. Jesse. That's what I thought.
Oh, okay. The office manager from Pantheon.
Nope.
Oh no, wait. Oh, wait a second.
Jesse, the reanimate.
Yep.
Oh, right. Duh, that's right. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and answer. Hey, Jesse, what's up?
No, hey, Benjamin, how are you doing? I haven't seen you around for a little bit, and I figured I'd give you a call. I was wondering if we could maybe go to the comic book store again in town tomorrow. They got a signing, apparently. I saw it on the website.
Oh, maybe. So does Jesse can Jesse pass off as like a living human being with like how he looks, or not really?
Um,
What about how he smells?
if he
Yeah.
doesn't smell, yeah, he could probably pull it off if he doesn't have a lot of like bodily interactions, like chest bumps or get caught in a crowd. And if he's not smelling, he could probably pull it off if he's wearing the appropriate clothing that covers up enough.
Okay. So I'm all, yeah, well, I mean, you wear the right clothes and make sure to deodorize, and yeah, we could, I guess we could do that for a little bit. There's a what like signing? Who's signing what?
Oh, that fella Brett Booth did the Anita Blake comic book you picked up for me a while back. He's
Oh,
actually in
right.
town doing a thing or two.
Oh, all right. Uh, yeah, sure. I'm at an associate's place right now, bunking down for the day. I'll let you know when I'm available tomorrow night.
Oh, Well, that begs another question. Like, where is everybody? Like,
Are you at the main haven where everyone's typically at?
well, yeah, it's kind of vacant.
Yeah, we're all kind of spread out right now. A bunch of us are at one place, trying to help out a little girl she was turned. We're seeing what we can do about it.
Oh, well, you can do something about that. I thought that was kind of a one-way street.
Well, we're trying something out. There's a weird serum, might do stuff. Don't know for sure. We're checking it out, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how likely it is work, but yeah, I don't want to give away exactly where we are or anything. Just yeah, it's a strange time.
Uh, okay, well, fair enough. Cassidy might, she talks a lot, so yeah. I won't tell her nothing. I'll keep it all on down low.
Good, Jesse. Appreciate it. Anything else?
Oh, no. I think that's it. I'll holler at you tomorrow.
All right. Later.
Okay.
And night night.
Yep.
Night-night.
And
So
so the hands on the
Ben's
clock
the one
turn.
that spills the beans 5 minutes later,
Yeah. Do
and
it,
not even
Jerome.
for anyone strategic.
Do the SpongeBob.
5 minutes later.
Yep, 5 minutes later. 1 hour later. The sun eventually comes up. Everybody has
Son of a. Oh, wait.
found a relative spot to lay for the day. True to form, none of the windows in here give an inch, for a beat of light whatsoever.
Good.
So it's all nice and covered. Although that's the one thing that's kind of discreet about the place, that it doesn't look like the initially that the windows are all blinded. They're blinded up and sealed
Blacked
and
out.
covered or blacked out. There you go. They, at first glance, if you walked by, it just looks like any other house, with just maybe the windows closed or whatnot. You'd have to get up close to it to realize, oh no, it's really blacked out and there's no light that's going to be coming through there. You have to break the window to do that. So the night rolls around finally. Everybody's down a blood point. And as everybody's starting to rise, the good doctor is already in the office slash laboratory area. The double doors are actually sitting open.
I walk in, see if he's there.
He is, and he's monitoring the little girl.
How is she? I'm gonna walk in as well. How is she doing?
You can see that there is a heart monitor set up. It's old. I mean, it looks like it's probably third hand. It's got that aging plastic around the sides. It probably was white. Now it's kind of sun faded looking. Yellowing and whatnot. But it works, and it's tracking, the heartbeat and whatnot. And he has pulled out the needles from the serum, and and he is just continuing to monitor at this point.
So she's alive? I mean, as in alive?
The heart monitor is just still or
No, it's beeping.
oh,
Was it beeping last night?
It wasn't set up last night.
Oh,
So how's it going on, Doc?
Thus far, the prognosis appears good. I want to keep her a few more nights to ensure that this actually did take, and there's no potential adverse effects to her organs. But as you can see, although she is sedated, she is registering a heartbeat and she has a steady breath.
So
Huh.
this zip up, zip up. That is our heartbeat.
That is the heartbeat, yes.
Fantastic.
Not bad. How much longer do you think it'll take?
I don't honestly know, but by this point, the serum has infiltrated the entirety of her body.
All right.
So if this does work, and it's deemed safe to release her back to her family, how do we explain it?
She has seen our world.
Yes, but we could alter those memories. She could have just simply gotten lost in the woods.
As should we go with that? Is that the story?
Well, there
Because
is an
someone has
issued
power.
Amber Alert,
So
meaning
No.
that some authorities know that something has happened. So if you were to alter her memories, my suggestion would be to
replace them?
maybe not alter them too far off of what had originally happened for the authenticity's sake.
We can use that.
What are you
'Cause-
thinking?
So Amber Alert, pretty up. She's been gone for a few days. It's obvious she wouldn't have just disappeared. Last place where she was that comic book store, right? Last person she was with was a guy who's gonna have connections to the founders,
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson. So what if we return the girl to the parents and we let them know that we saved her from them,
And where are
and
they
that
now?
Run
they're
away?
escaping to California, and Amber Alerts. So it's a kidnapping, right? That's a big deal. Police, maybe even FBI is going to be on this. There's got to be somebody who's leading that investigation, talking to the parents already, of course. So then we talk to that person, whoever it is, let him know what Jefferson's capable of, but we don't say what he is. Just that he's a terrible fucking monster. We get him. Because, you know,
Don't
and
you?
and we could pin Henri's problem on him too.
I like this. I I would as far as investigation goes, I would maybe if we could I could use the obfuscate as a mask so I could hide who we are. If you could find someone else so that I could if I go with you, I could be as a silent partner and you can do the speaking. And then we just need to find a visage that I can put on for the both of us that we can impersonate someone else. Maybe we could be private investigators, or we could be FBI or CIA, something along that lines. Uh, like some suits. We just thinking. Uh, um, You are very recognizable. I mean, if you speak, so they will recognize. So if I could put the visage of another person, I just need an image of which to become familiar with.
Right.
Don't you already work with the police?
Oh yeah, because you've got that private investigation.
Jerome, so like is Pantheon known to like human beings, or is that like strictly just kind of like a vampires only type of situation going on?
No, it's a listed business.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
the whole point, remember, the whole point behind it is you guys are getting the weird cases, the
Right.
cold cases and whatnot from the police. So yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's not well known, but yeah, it's a straight up business.
Okay. So then
So,
Ben goes, "Oh, sorry, go ahead."
so if you were to present this girl, maybe they would know to not look too closely because of the other work that you do.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I need to be disguised. And if I play my cards right, maybe I can make a friend. You know, a friend in blue might help us out.
Could be handy. Although, judging by your plan, it sounds like you would like the police to keep an eye out for our escapee anyway. And so, I guess ride the line between don't go after these folks because they're dangerous and do go after these folks because we need your eyes on them.
Well,
Um,
yeah, extremely dangerous. Don't approach.
just throwing that out.
Sure.
Mr. Henri will likely need a disguise, though.
Yeah.
I'm very memorable. So, but I do not. It does not need to be. If you are going as yourself, I mean, Miss Trudy, you could go with him, or one of your friends could go, or even Robert. I mean, it does. Or he could just go by himself. I mean, it's if we're not disguising, you don't need me to come to be present. This fantastic accent is kind of hard to hide. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
We
could
don't
go
want to
with them
all go. That'll work.
since I'm pretty much your partner anyways.
Makes sense. Represent Pantheon. And that could be a part of it. Yeah. We've been tracking this guy, and we could even pin the murder at YMCA. There was the dead clerk. That probably hasn't been solved yet. And they really did kill them.
A lot of things on him.
Yeah.
I
It'll
do
work.
like the idea of using them as a scapegoat for Mr. Henri's problems too, though.
I
That
like this a lot. It's
could be very handy.
Right. We
So
just need to
how
know, like,
exactly is Henri tied to this problem? What I must have missed something. What happened?
They're going to use everything that's going on with Jefferson to try to hide what happened at Henri's place, to blame it on him.
No, that was in character.
Oh, I thought you were saying that.
No, yeah, I posed that in character.
yeah.
Who's saying that?
The doctor.
The doctor.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, okay.
the guy who's
Sorry.
asked that.
I'm like, why would the doctor say that? Sorry. I'm like, I missed something. I apologize. I'm like
No, that's quite all right.
taking notes over here, and I'm like, what did I just miss? Who's here? Like,
Henri's been smoking again.
where's it coming from? Did you hear that voice too?
As long as he's not smoking on fire.
Yeah, not again. Okay, let's retcon that. I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You're fine. No, the doctor is asking why why the interest in Henri, and what exactly is the issue?
I
Henri,
have,
I'll let you tell him.
I had some buddies at my house, and then there was these guys, they burned the house down, and so I barely escaped, but as the buddies were found. I mean, I think there were 3 in the refrigerator, and sadly Cheryl was upstairs, but that makes me sad. But the yes, there were 4 bodies that were found after the house burned down.
So how do you plan on tying the individuals that did this to the girl to your predicament?
Was you could say it's maybe they owns the house. It was not me. It was they were renting the house, or
I wonder if there's some sort of evidence that could be planted to try to tie the two together. Some sort of physical. I hesitate to say remains exactly, but perhaps something to tie the house to the house where the founding fathers were staying, or
Who owns the house?
that is
Mr.
a good
G,
question.
you
I mean, like, on paper,
Which house?
that was burned down.
that
Oh, Mr. Henri's house? I did.
yes, it was Trudy's.
Is any of that like official? Like you have the deed to it and all that stuff? Could you change that so that it's different somehow? Because if you own the house and they link it to you, that's bad for you.
Yes, that is troublesome. Definitely an issue for my lawyer to handle. Um, that's an idea, though. Uh, uh,
Maybe nobody was living in it. You didn't know these guys took residence in it,
like
stored some
squatter.
of their kills,
Like a
and they
squatter.
burned it down. There you go.
But then how do we tie it to the girl?
They were trying to kill her in a ritualistic fashion at the YMCA. That's why the YMCA clerk was killed and shots were heard there. Because the police were coming, weren't they?
Yes.
They had to do it at the YMCA because their place that they were squatting burnt down, along with their bodies, so they had to replenish.
Thing that's going to be a little tricky is, wasn't there video evidence of like somebody got a pic of Henri,
Mm-hmm.
like face and all?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, there was a Comic-Con recently, right? And everyone's wearing stuff. Maybe he's been in town. He just like got a similar mask.
Maybe we hand some footage to the police of someone who looks like Mr. Henri wearing one of those fancy wigs at
we-
the YMCA.
So we put Henri in a wig and we film him.
That might be easiest to do. Just I will wear a wig, but it's Benjamin. When we went to the Comic-Con, lots of people were taking pictures of me as the Baron. Remember? So there's lots of evidence of me being there. if we stage this the wig upon me and the YMCA, we could do that. I never interacted with the neighbors of the house. I don't know if Robert or Zachary did. So I don't know what comings and goings the neighbors saw of us.
So here's the thing, Henri. It's, the bodies you had there. Big mistake. Okay? And I'll be real with you. If I had it my way, I'd kick you out of this town. But, you're one of us. So I'm trying to play nice here. Maybe your little entourage, maybe they need to go away. Like, just literally leave. Because that's going to be tough for them if they're ever linked to you and you ever accidentally show your face again. Everyone's got a cell phone camera, right? That's tough.
So you're saying that Robert takes Zachary to go wherever they go, disperse. I get a new ghoul of some sorts to help me out during the day and start over.
Well,
You
no
might
more.
have to. How old is he? Robert or Robert, whatever.
He's maybe he's just a ghoul, yeah, but he's only been around since 1980, 80, maybe 90. He's 50, maybe 60. But I think he still looks like he is 40.
That's gotta be rough for him. But
That would be a fairly in game terms. That would be a fairly developed ghoul, not
Yeah.
like elder or whatnot. But he'd have a couple of disciplines, so he wouldn't just be the one and done type. So
Yeah, Zach is one and done because he's just.
Yep.
He's
Did
very,
Zach even? I'm trying to remember. Did Zach even feed off of me, or because I was trying
Yeah.
to get him to feed, but
yeah,
he
you
didn't?
you kind of forced him.
Okay.
That was what, like 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
a week, because Sophie's been gone for like a week now.
Hey, maybe we
and
can talk earlier.
Davey is tuned in and said, "Hey, let you guys know."
hey,
Hey, Davey.
So, anyways, back in game.
I mean, unless you're fine with like being on the down low with them for like a long time. I mean, that's kind of one reason why we have whoever it's going to be, cops, FBI, who knows, on the trail looking California words rather than in town. Because you give them something to chase, they'll chase it. They don't really want to work hard to solve cases. They want to solve a case fast. If it takes them forever, looks bad.
I would
So,
not like to see on Robert go, but if it is necessary, I mean, it's we no. Robert's not 1980. Robert was I met him in California. It was 2000 early 2000s. So but he's been with me for at least a decade.
Well, why do you think his assistant is a liability?
if you make enough connections, then everyone's a liability. If they're only 1 or 2 degrees away from you, I mean, that's how you track people. Everyone's connected to everyone else somehow. You go from dot to dot and can connect those dots. If anyone's seen him at that house and they think it's him, and like what Henri just said, if human beings have seen Robert come and go during the day, well,
Then
that's a problem.
he'll be connected with the crime,
Right.
and therefore,
Like, terrible for him, at least. His life's ruined.
His life was ruined when I first met him. He was just restarting his life. But if he needs to start over, he will start over. He has my first instinct is to do what I did, what I've done in the past, is just to basically to eat Robert and make him disappear. That would might be a first instinct. But after spending these past 2 years with this little group, it's everyone says this is not the way to go. So we would let Robert go and live his life on his own. So it's just much easier just to, as they say, burn the
Violation of the masquerade.
But
Just let him go.
I would think it would be easier just to. I mean, it's if it is that much of a liability, then I mean we just erase him. But it's if you think that it's better for him to go on, then he can go on, you know. But I've never let a goal go on. They've become books, not much more than that.
Yeah. We don't need to add your library.
My library is gone.
Can add it to mine.
No, my library is gone. It's I guess.
No, you can add Robert to mine.
Well, I see. If this is acceptable with everyone, then I can do this. That would not be a problem. But this is something that I thought we were working on as far as you were saying my humanity. It's just, I mean, it's.
You have to look at it this way. Letting him go, it's a violation of the masquerade.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but
He would have the blood thirst. He would need to be fed. I guess after a month away from me, he would need to be fed. So,
all right. Well, then, what do we? I mean, if you keep him with you, then he's at least got to change what he looks like. Go by a different name if that's what he uses. You know, when he's doing stuff during the day.
he could do
It can
this.
be done. It's just gonna be tough for him.
And this is I do not know. Can another vampire adopt him? The other, so if we had a friend that is going to another state or somewhere else, they could feed him and they could be his master.
That's possible.
Unheard of.
Oh no, ghouls could be poached for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
You may owe a favor,
And
but
on an out
can
of
be
character
done.
level, remember you guys know Dixie, the independent ghoul who's been running that blood.
I don't think Trudy knows her.
Well, Trudy may not know, but the players know of her.
I thought about saying something about independent ghouls, and then I was
But no, yeah, that's how I got introduced. Was Dixie was that group when we were originally captured, right?
Not to the best of my knowledge, no.
no, Dixie. Dixie has only been on screen once or twice, maybe. I
Yeah.
think.
Lily's still too new to really know a whole lot about her, so it would be Ben that would know her and Henri.
I don't know. I thought that something like when we were initially captured, I thought it was Trudy, myself. I thought Dixie was part of that crew.
Nope.
Wasn't?
No. Dixie's an NPC.
I'm thinking Melissa. Who's Melissa's character, the truck driver? That's what I'm thinking
Oh,
of.
she's what? Dottie.
Dottie. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm messing up the names.
No, that's fine.
Dixie, Dottie.
That's why I'm like
Close enough.
Well,
but not.
there is such a thing as independent ghouls, but I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know much about how they operate, and also if you think he's likely to be not able to function well on his own, he could be a liability because he knows things about Ashland and about you,
So as far as
and someone could trace get it out of him somehow.
As far as operating on his own, I mean, he is within this world. He has been my guide for the past decade.
I mean more. Can he be trusted to keep his trap shut?
His trap shut.
Mouth.
Not talk
Especially
about us to people.
especially if he were to become, say, find a new Domitor.
Yes, because he knows where I lay my head down during the day.
If he were to come into service of some other kindred, then your secrets could be forfeit. If he were to find his own vitae supply, there's a chance, but it's certainly an uncertain life.
If he becomes too desperate, secrets are a great monetary value.
Just a thought. I think we don't need to make this sort of judgment too hastily, but I do think we ought to go forward with the plan for the girl, and if we can figure out how to tie up Henri's indiscretions, that could be helpful. But weren't y'all working on something for that anyway?
Yeah, well, that got put on hold when, the founders poked their heads out.
Well, it was a good plan. We can continue with that after we deal with this one.
Maybe it could even be, I don't know, more or less plausible to have two operations than just the one. I'm not sure. Just a thought.
I don't know if it matters. The three bodies that were in the refrigerator, I mean, they were not more than maybe a month old. I mean, they were not very. They were recent kills. Maybe 4 months.
Did
Are
they?
they all from Ashland?
Oh yes.
Did they perhaps match the MO of the founders?
Well,
No, when I killed them, it was a stabbing or it was just to preserve the body so I could use the flesh for as a leather. It was a little bit different. Also, some of the bodies, I mean, I'm not sure how badly burned they were. Were missing like the back was gone off of one of them. There was a good portion of leather for that. But if they were charred, maybe they don't see this kind of thing. Shelly, I've had with me for about so maybe 3 decades. She was mummified. She was very special to me, so I kept her with me. Uh, uh, she was a good dancer. She was very nice.
where did she die? Where was she from?
Maybe Baton Rouge.
Hold on. Louisiana? She's from Louisiana?
Yes,
You telling me this right now?
Yeah, I was in Louisiana from the early maybe 1940 to 1967. So I guess she's older than 3 decades. She's been with me for quite some time. She was a dancer. So 5 decades. I am sorry, 5 decades. Yes, Baton Rouge is when we were in the French Quarter.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you said that's kind of, if I remember your story, there was a little bit with Mardi Gras or something.
Yeah. So the plan is he's a copycat killer. He's a copycat. Someone used to be called the Four Score Killer. Mid-80s, Louisiana. But this guy is different, and he was trying something different, and that's why the MOs are different. He wanted to come into his own. And this happened to be like an old cold case that Pantheon got. That's why we're on his trail. But he got away, but we got the girl from him. We got away because he's just so crazy dangerous. Don't go close to him, cops and FBI. He'll tear you guys up. Don't do it. Just try to find out where he is. We barely escaped with our lives and got the girl away, and she's kind of little messed up. He said these weird things to her. Like, this guy thinks he's a vampire. Like, from those Black Dog games. Yeah. Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah. This will all work better if I'm talking face to face and I can,
For a moment, I thought you had a
Grease the wheel.
migraine, but I can see that the wheels were turning instead.
Well,
get the hamster going once in a while.
sounds like you got a couple of nights to perfect the story before we find out whether the girl's gonna make it.
Right. Oh, yeah, I've got to meet up with Jesse. Yeah, see you all later. Hey, Doc, if anything happens, you give me a call. You got my number?
Yes, I do.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
Do we want to do is this wigs thing sometime over the next couple of days? The putting there's a wig on at YMCA. Is that still a part of the plan?
I don't think
Uh,
it's going to be necessary if we can pin this on the copycat.
yeah.
All right.
So Ben heads out and goes to get Jesse so we can go to the comic signing.
Okay.
He calls her people and goes home to change and eat something.
Yeah. Lily gets a hold of her parents to come and get her, and Henri if he wants to come with.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Robert up and see what he's doing and what he saw during the day, and then see if he wants Lily to take me back to the place.
Yeah, he in short, he didn't really see anything. He's just been keeping a close eye on Zach.
Right. Well, then I'm going to get a ride with Miss Lily back to her haven.
Okay. So Benjamin, you arrive back at the other haven at this point. Jesse is he's got a coat thrown on, with the collar kind of popped a little bit. He's wearing a snapback baseball cap. He actually has a set of washed jeans on. So he's trying to make an effort to look like a normal person. And he has a shirt on. It's a charcoal gray shirt that has a vampire penguin on it, and it says "Vampires suck."
So I'm like, cute. That's cute.
He says, "Oh, this is official Anita Blake merch."
Or it works. Walk up to him and do a quick sniff test to see like if he's covered that up too.
He's got probably a little bit too much Old Spice on, but you don't smell anything nasty. You just smell like, oh, okay, that's yeah, you smell like Old Spice.
Okay.
And he's going to a comic book store. Maybe you should have gone with the axe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you got that. You got all that taken care of. All bases covered there, Jesse. All right. You got all you need for the signing?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've got a couple graphic novels in the bag here. Got about 40 bucks on me.
Sounds good. All right, let's head out.
Okay. So you guys head cross town, going to driving through Ashland, heading up, on the spot, comic books. It's got a an arrow kind of flying at a target sort of thing. It's pretty popping in here. There's a couple people waiting in line to get books signed. A lot of people in here playing card games. So they've got the fold out tables off in one section. They got a couple stand up video games in here, but otherwise it's a pretty straightforward comic book store. Several rows of used comic books, and along the walls are all the new books, from the various publishers and whatnot.
Well, here, I'm gonna I guess we're probably standing in line for the is there a line already for the signing? Okay.
Yeah, it's only like 5 people deep though.
Oh, okay. So while standing in line, I'm looking around, especially at the card game tables, because that's where Elaine was abducted, and I'm looking to see if I spot anybody who matches the description of the founder's ghoul who we had
Oh, sure.
heard about before.
Sure, give a check. Perception and investigation.
Okay. Difficulty 6, I take it?
Yeah, difficulty 6. It is well lit in here.
Cool. Wow, that's really good. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
You do manage to catch 1 or 2 people who are appear to be cheating with their cards. Not putting the cards in a discard deck, but sliding it back under or something like that. So it looks like they're doing some sort of sleight of hand. You, however, don't see anybody matching that description in here.
Okay. Couple of cheaters over there. Wow. Not a single judge we're seeing? Yikes.
All right, so
Yes.
you guys, so you are waiting at this point in line for the comic books to be signed. Brittany, you get back to the ranch at this point. Nothing alarming going off at this point. Everybody kind of keeping on their toes, and pardon me. Oh, that was unexpected. But keeping on their toes and obviously awaiting whatever updates that you might have for them at this point.
We'll do the usual check-ins, and we'll mention. I'll mention the plan to tie the girl in with, or to use the basically Ben's plan for explaining how she's been gone.
Okay.
And I think I'll ask how the issue of or have there been inquiries to us about the bodies at Henri's house?
Inquiry. Oh, gotcha. As far as the ownership and whatnot. So Xandria, shakes her head and she says, "No, we haven't heard anything yet. It's only been 2 or 3 days at this point. So I would imagine they're probably busy with something else, but we haven't heard anything yet. It's definitely something we're trying to keep an eye on. But we don't have anything else we can really do at this point in time except keep an eye on it and see when are they going to come around and start asking about it. But we haven't heard anything as of yet.
There was some discussion of possibly claiming that the founders were squatting on that property, trying to tie those two cases together.
Okay.
I don't know if it's too far-fetched or not. Maybe give it some thought. Maybe we can plant some connecting evidence or something. But if it seems like too much of a stretch, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out a different way.
I mean, it's something. Honestly, at this point, we would have to hope for a break. We don't have anybody on the inside who can give us really those details. We would have to, like before, sneak in and do something, which is always an option, but it carries that increased risk, especially with everything that's going on right now.
Of course. Rather keep it simple. How's Agaya doing?
She hasn't really come out of her room, but she's been around.
Better go check on her.
Okay. Did you have anything else for us?
Not at the
ma'am?
time. Not at the time being.
Okay, so then she calls for a break in the meeting, and they go about taking care of everything else that they were normally taking care of.
And I'll go check on Agaya.
Okay. You you know what? Maybe you would have heard this. Why don't you give me a perception and alertness check? Difficulty 7, just because it's through the door.
Two.
Okay. So you definitely hear some music coming from her room.
So
And just before you open the door, you kind of pause for a second, and you're like, "Where have I heard that jingle from before?" It's one of those songs like you've probably heard it, but you're having a difficult time like placing it right now. Maybe it was popular at one point in time, but you're like on the radio, but it's been a while since you've heard it.
okay. Weird. So I'll just like peek in first without. Well, I'll tap and then peek in.
Okay, so you tap and there's this mad scramble to turn the music off real quick.
I'll poke my head in and say, "Dumpling."
As you do that, you see that she had like a CD in her hand, and as you say that, she in one motion put the CD in the case and then tried to like hide it, but it goes like flying up in the air, like going behind her. And when you catch a glimpse of it, you see the CD case is Debbie Gibson out of the blue.
Okay.
And she just looks at you like like she's embarrassed at this point.
Something the matter?
It wasn't proper vampire music. Don't judge me.
Oh, Dumpling. There's no such thing as proper vampire music.
Kane wouldn't listen to this.
Sweetie, my favorite music is swing.
Swing. So like playground stuff?
No, like 1940s? Never mind. that's another story. How are you feeling, Dublin?
Okay, I guess. I made it bad, didn't I?
A little bit, but nothing that can't be fixed.
Did
I'm
you
more worried about you.
did you owe somebody a lot for cleaning up my mess? You guys use that like that boons and stuff, right?
Well, if I'm honest, I haven't spoken to Malcolm about it yet, but uh,
Ooh, Giovanni Boons. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sure he'll work with me.
He's not gonna make you do anything with like dead bodies or anything, is he?
I'll do it.
It's never come up, so
Okay.
um we'll figure it out. Don't worry about that. Um, I just seeing as you skedaddled pretty quick last night, I just wanted to make sure you're doing okay.
I'm okay. She's kind of fidgety. I mean, you've seen her like this before. She, kind of holding her tail in the one hand and fidgeting uncomfortably.
You gonna be okay with Lily
I don't know.
being around town?
She's a Tremere.
Sh- sh- She ain't all bad.
Says
Remember,
you.
she left them. She doesn't like that life either.
But they're all tied to one another.
Well,
How do you
maybe you
know
can
it's
ask.
not like they're gonna cast a spell and she's gonna betray you or something? And they worship devils.
Of course.
Well, maybe I'll have to ask her about that.
Give me an intelligence and occult check.
Nada.
Okay.
Zip.
Other
What
than
might
that,
even call a botch.
the whole devil worship thing is kind of a common slang associated with Tremere. You don't know if it's true or not, but you've heard it before.
Do I know what she might be referring to?
Other than a lot of people associate that with them, that's about it.
Like, what is the vampire awareness of devils? Like, what does that mean?
Oh, they're real.
Oh, wait, so like infernal stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't strike me as the type, but
They never do.
huh, I'll definitely ask. Um, you want to go and get a bite?
While you're at it, why don't you ask Solid?
Ask a what?
Solid, but you can't because they ate him.
Oh, yeah. Well, pretty sure she didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, but it's in her blood. And they're all tied together like that.
You know what? I think we all ought to go out sometime, but we can talk about all of this and clear the air. But I won't make you do it tonight. Got other things going on.
Okay.
Um, Sweetie, you can dance to whatever music you like.
Okay. I don't know, it kind of made me happy. And the others didn't really like that.
Didn't like you being happy.
Thought they didn't like her. And don't tell Isadora. She wouldn't be happy either.
All right, I won't.
She's gonna think I have bad taste.
Yeah, I won't tell her.
Promise?
I promise.
Okay.
Let's go and get it by. I am famished.
Are we getting it from your fridge?
Maybe. Is that okay?
I guess the only other option would be to eat one of your members, and I didn't think you were okay with that.
Or we could just go out. We done that before.
Oh, yeah. I kind of think you didn't want to be seen with me right now.
I can trust you in public, right?
Yeah.
You like comic books.
She like looks around her rooms like, did I get too many?
I heard Benjamin talking about going to the comic book store for some kind of a sign-in. Maybe we could go meet up there.
Oh, do you need a Blake signing?
Is that sure.
Yeah,
That sounds a little
one of
familiar.
those artists. He's like really cool. His name's Brett Booth. He's got like super detailed art. He's done like Spider-Man, and he's done like his own comic book Backlash. Jim Lee found him. It's really cool.
That name again. So you want to head downtown?
Only if you don't think it's not going to be a problem.
Do you think it's going to be a problem?
No.
What are you worried about?
I don't want you upset at me.
Not upset with you.
I made a big mess, and usually when that happens, then I get punished.
Are you going to do it again? Tonight?
Are there Tremere there?
Um,
Baby.
I don't know if Lily has plans to join them. She's the only Tremere in town that I know.
Okay. Well, if I don't see her first, can you like warn me so I can like leave and because I don't want to do anything bad, especially the comic book store. I like going there.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. I gotta change.
All right. Me too. So I'll go change and have a drink, and then we will head over to the comic book store.
Alrighty. Okay. So, Henri, hey Dante, what's going on, man? So Henri and Lily. So you guys are back at Her Haven. It's clearly not your speed, Henri. Because you're used to the smells of your haven and the leather working and everything, so it's still taking some getting used to, to being here. Otherwise, it's not a bad house.
It's a church.
Church. Former church, anyways.
I probably would be drawn to her books.
Okay.
Just not really looking at the titles, but more looking at the creation of the books, the craftsmanship of the books.
There's a few pretty old ones there that she took.
So I'm like just kind of like going along, looking at the spines, pulling some out that are like if it's well done, I'll pull it out. This is very nice craftsmanship. It's I like this. This is nice. This is not really leather. And I put it back. It is so if there's something that's like if it's actually leather bound, I'll be like, oh, this is very nice leather. I like this one very much. Um, one of your older books that might be like kind of falling apart, I might be like, hey, if I'm going to stay here, I'm going to need to rebind this. It's a disgrace to the book. It's not well kept. Um,
Well used. It was my sire's. I relieved him of it. But
and
yeah, if you can fix the spine of it at least, that would be helpful. So I'll stop losing pages.
it's the difficulty is that it's the shop where I'm going to work and what's going to happen. I mean, there are two sides to leatherworking. There is leatherworking traditionally, with traditional leathers, and then there's the other side of leatherworking. And I've always done both. Um, so I don't know how if I'm going to leatherwork here. I guess I mean Benjamin saying and Trudy, I need to be in a more acceptable line of what I'm working with. I just don't
Yeah,
know.
all I ask is if you're going to do it with human bodies, that you don't keep the bodies here. That you find, I don't know, one of the mausoleums in the graveyard to slay your corpses, and then bring the bring the skins back here to work with. But just, I don't want any bodies, actual bodies here.
I understand. I mean, that's something I have to work with. Is how to without an incinerator, it's hard. It's hard to ash to turn to But it's in the past it was just to grind the bones and distribute them in the sewers so that it's easier that way.
Well, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
You could always Google somebody who works at the cemetery, especially in the crematorium.
I could work on this.
And then that way, once you've gotten what you want from the bodies, they cremate them for you and no longer have any evidence.
I really like this plan because if I were to befriend, say, a funeral home owner or someone that's working in the evenings on the bodies, I could come in and take my 2 bits and take my what I need, and I could bring it back here.
Yeah.
And there's already an existing body. It's not like I have to go off hunting for bodies. And
This is true. So a mortician or somebody who works at the crematorium or both. One can never have too many.
when the bodies come in, they know what state they're from and they know where their background is and everything. Is that?
Yeah, because I think they're the ones that do the obituaries.
I mean, it would be
So
so
you
they
would
could
know if
call.
you would know if they had like a skin disease, or I'm sure because they would have all the. I
So
would think
they could call with a pristine. This is a body. She was
I
shot
would
in
think
the head,
so.
and the rest of the body is okay. Um, and then I mean, if they're going to ash the body, I mean, I could use the body for my purposes there, and bring the leather here. They could even say like, I mean, we have someone from Florida, or we have someone from North Carolina, and I could rebuild my collection again of all the states and countries. That would be. I'm excited. This is something I can work with. Um,
Because they
I
would have a morgue to keep the bodies in. So I mean, there's your refrigeration right there.
oh, this is okay. I'm going to you are new to the group as well. I want to make sure this plan is acceptable to the group. But I think this is a very viable plan.
I think they
I
would. I think they would prefer that than you keeping bodies in your own haven.
no, I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It sounds like, I mean, I have kept bodies in my haven forever, but
I think Ben would get less migraines that way.
would it be all right if I did not keep the whole body? It's like, Robert has a rabbit's foot that he carries with him on his keychain.
Mhm.
If I found someone that I really liked, would it be all right to have their finger? I just on my percentage.
I would ask the Baron about that.
I'm not used to not having. Okay, I need some sort of keepsake. It's got to. Right. Okay, I'm thinking there's so many ideas, so many ways to go with this. I am so excited, Lily. I just run up and I give her a big hug and a kiss on both cheeks. I'm like, this is so exciting.
She just smiles at him. I'm glad I could help.
No, I think this is something we can work with. To Ghoul a mortician. This has nothing I've thought of before. They are used to bodies. There's there are so many right things about this plan. I think this is a good plan. Where's Robert? I want to talk to Robert. I think he needs to know.
Yeah. Or we can get Robert a job there, and he can kind of keep an eye on things too.
My God, there's so many good things.
Then you would have two people working.
He's in the other room at this point.
Come with me, Lily. Let's talk to Robert about the plan.
Okay. Then I think maybe after that, you want to go head over to the comic book store to see what all the hubbub's about?
Is the comic book store? I mean, I can change my visage, but the problem is, if there's this famous person signing the books, won't there be cameras going on and everything? Or
There might be pointing at him, sure. Just don't get close to him.
I could go as I was the playing of the cosplay. I could cosplay as a baron and come into the store as a baron. That was not our baron, of course, but there's this vampire baron from some TV show. I could pretend it. I don't know if that's right. This.
Why don't I look up and see who it is and see what he's done? So maybe you can go as one of his characters. That would make more sense.
I could make I have an actual mask up on my face when I go in. It might be easier.
Lily's gonna grab her phone, look up the guy look up who's supposed to be at the comic book store.
Okay. Well, the artist is Brett Booth.
Okay, so she looks up and sees what kind of stuff he's done. You said Spider-Man, right?
He's got a lot of different things he's done. He's done some Spider-Man. He's done some. He's done a bunch of DC stuff. Not too long ago. I think he's on exclusive contract right now with DC.
Yeah.
He's done like Justice League. He's done.
Has he done the Demon Intrigant?
Huh?
So she's gonna show Andre some of the work he's done, so he can have a choice.
So add a character, the DC superhero Integrin, the demon. Has he done him?
Good question. I don't know. Let's take a look real fast. There's a chance he may have.
What's his name? Sorry.
Brett Booth.
Yeah.
Brett Booth.
Let's see. It doesn't look like he has. He has, however, done Doomsday. And he's done Blue Devil. I'm trying to look at monsters characters he's done sketching of. He's done Spawn.
Oh, I could do Spawn. I could do a ghetto Spawn. But it just depends on what I can put together from here from Lily's house is all, like we're not going to go out costume shopping before we go there.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, it's Tony Daniel did that. Okay. He did, however, do or is doing Gunslinger Spawn. So it's a old west looking version of Spawn.
Oh, that's cool looking.
Yeah,
But again,
Brett Booth
I
is legit. He's a
yeah,
great artist.
yeah, he is. But I don't know. I mean, in and out of character, looking at the pictures that Lily's showing me, I would be like, I don't know if I could put anything together to make this. You know, like
So you
Could
give
get you a Spider-Man. We could get you a Spider-Man mask.
you could definitely do that if you wanted to.
all right, that's probably the easiest thing to do to get a Spider-Man mask.
So they'll stop and get a Spider-Man. She'll have Dad stop.
Okay.
She
And then
literally calls them Mom and Dad.
that's funny. So while she's looking at the phone and we're walking towards Robert's room, I'm gonna I'll just like knock on the door for Robert. I'm like, Robert, knock on the door.
No, so I mean, he opens up. Hey, boss, what's going on?
First, how is Zachary doing?
You see Zach staring at a wall.
All right, that's how Zachary's doing. Um, so we are trying to solve problems. I need access to materials like the bodies, and everyone is frowning very much so of me putting bodies in the house. Lily does not want the bodies here, but she has come up with a master plan. I think is very fantastic. Um, maybe what do you think about the working in the morgue or a funeral home?
Well, normally I would say no, as a normal human being, but I mean, you kind of corrupted me with working with dead bodies, so it's not really a change outside of the fluid, I guess.
I'm just thinking it does not have to be as a permanent, but if you were to get there's a job, or maybe someone can pull strings and get you a job within, and then we can not have a Zach part two, or how do you say 2.0, and mess somebody up. But I would like to, if we can get in the and win someone over, and use their skills, and once we've won them over, then you no longer have to work there. I can use someone within.
I
And
think I
we
have
can
to
check
have
with
a.
Trudy.
I think I have to get a license for something like that, though. But
I don't think just to work there. Um,
You can be a janitor cleaning up
yeah.
the feces and I mean, just
oh, you want me to be a janitor?
well, I mean, you're not going to get licensed unless you want to work with the people coming in and the crying ladies and everything. Oh, come this way. The body is over here. I'm not, if you want to do that, I'm not.
Oh, that's like a greeter. No, if you want me to do like the actual mortuary services or whatnot, I need a license for that.
He would have to have a license to actually work on the bodies, but not as a cleanup or a driver.
But yeah, I mean, I could do something like that if that's what you're wanting me to do, boss. I mean, that
and we could see
I can imagine that
if
wouldn't be too hard.
Aunt Trudy can pull some strings.
It just I need access to bodies to work on, so I can rebuild my collection that has been destroyed. Um, this is the bodies are dead already, so there'd be a way to have access to free materials per se, and to work with them. And so I think this is something that's um, the others will go along with. I mean, Sophia is a baron. I think Benjamin, Trudy. I think they will all say that this is much more preferable. It's
Okay. I mean, that's fine. But what are we gonna do about the place, though? Don't we need like a new house?
well, Lily said we can work with here, as long as we're not bringing bodies back here.
Okay, well, if we get a spot at the mortuary, I guess that kind of nixes that. So, okay, I'll see what I can do.
I turned back to Lily. I'm like, is there a room so we can convert uh, a room or a space that we can convert into a workspace for us?
I have a couple of rooms down below that I use to practice rituals. I am sure that we could turn one into your own personal laboratory.
I'm if we can work with this, but and the last thing is finances, of course. I mean, that's I don't know how insurance is going to work with Miss Trudy if it's a house that burned and all that. I mean, I just we're going to start small. I have nothing. I've lost everything. Um,
I can always have my dad help. He has a pretty good job. That's how he affords me. So
I mean, I can start small. Miss Trudy was saying to build inventory, sells the inventory, and with profits build and make greater. So
yep,
I think with my place, I was starting too big and was overwhelmed. So if we start small here, maybe make the handbags and maybe make gloves. I think I owe a pair of boots to Miss Trudy. I'm sure Mr. Benjamin would like a pair of gloves. Um, so I can, and we could just get regular leather for that, and then I could bind your books as for housekeeping to help you out. So
you
I'm,
can make me a corset. That'll pay me back some.
I could do corset. I have not done a corset for quite some time, but I could do that.
Yeah, I'd like to have a corset, a black corset.
All right, it is so. I think the first one I have to do is the boots for Miss Truty, though. That was my first promise. They were done. They were burned. So I just need to make another pair.
Sounds good.
So this Spider-Man with the big white eyes. So
Hmm.
your father can find this mask for me so I can go with you?
Yeah, I'm sure he can find something somewhere.
All right, Robert, we're going to go to the comic book store and I'm going to be Monsieur Spider-Man. We're going to meet this artist who's signing things.
Okay, then you have fun. I will keep an eye on the wallflower.
All right. We shall return.
All right. So while you guys are working on getting his costume, your dad goes to Walmart and gets him the plastic Spider-Man mask that comes with the web shooter that just like sprays off like foam, whatever it's supposed to look like web spray.
I am Monsieur Spider-Man.
He could have way too much fun with that. Okay.
All right, so Benjamin. So as you guys are getting got the book signed, you end up seeing Trudy come walking in uh, with a girl you don't recognize.
Hey, didn't know you were into this too.
Oh, not me. I'm just here with her.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she is in she actually has the same T-shirt that Jesse is wearing.
Oh no, you're multiplying.
I'm sorry?
Uh, by the way, this is Jesse. He's in the know, and he's the one who loves this comic stuff. You need a Blake, all that stuff. I take it, and I point to the person I don't know. I take it you're in love with that stuff too.
And she says, "Oh yeah, thank you, bye," and like just darts right past you to get in line.
Think about
Okay, and who is
Figure,
that blur?
I figured after the rough night she had last night at the club that she could take a little cheering up.
Oh, Oh, that was
Oh, yeah.
oh, all right.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Did
She's
she
in,
so Jerome,
she's
did
into
she
comic
look
books too.
oh, okay. Did she look like completely different from like what I've seen her before?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like just okay.
Hmm.
Wow, I didn't know she could
Same manner of clothing, but yeah, it's clear she has a weight, and since she's identified who she was, yeah, she's probably got some pretty good levels of obfuscate or something that
okay.
she can mask herself.
Didn't know she could presto changeo like that. Not bad.
It makes going out a little bit easier.
All right, good. Good. Well, Jesse, you got everything you needed?
Uh, I was gonna poke around a little bit if we had time.
Go for it. Got all the time in the world.
Oh, and nice meeting you, Miss Ma'am.
Um, the pleasure is mine.
So he just like he nods and he like starts to window browse through the like glass cases and whatnot, looking at at stuff.
Yeah, so
You into this
hey.
stuff?
No, no, he has been like for years. Not sure if he was into it before the life or just because of it. I don't know. I forgot to ask about Scarlet. I'll let him keep playing that stuff. Any any new news on your end?
Not so much. Not yet.
All
Sounds
right,
like we haven't had any inquiries about the house. So far no news is good news.
right. Good. Yeah, we'll need to play that card for the plan and story to work.
Hmm.
I know there's a few holes, but well, we'll see how good I am at my job when the time comes, I guess. That's
Asked
assuming that she pulls
asked
through.
yeah, right. I asked my people about whether we would have heard something by now, and uh, Miss Cummings seems to think that police might have other things to focus on right now, and I'm not sure what exactly that means. Whether there's something going on in the city that we ought to know about, or just
It,
business as usual. I don't know.
she didn't tell you what or anything? She just was all mysterious?
I suppose it's not important.
This town, turns out everything's important. Ugh.
Well,
Anyway, yeah, maybe I should get lost in one of these comic books. The last time I looked at one was so long ago. Completely different now.
Greek to me.
Well, let's take a look. And so I start looking along like with Jesse just to look at, why he's so into this stuff.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it just he seems to have a soft spot for some nerdy things. His taste, if you're because you have kind of a discerning eye, leans more towards the more detailed style art. So he's picking up on like Brett Booth or Jim Lee or artists that tend to have more detail in it as opposed to the softer, more anime sketchy type artists or whatnot. So he's kind of rummaging through some of those and prints and when I'm just looking at things that he might want to get or whatnot or characters he might like. Um, Trudy, you almost get bowled over by a Gaia who comes back and she has a graphic novel in her hand and she's holding it up to you right here so you can see her eyes kind of like a Mr. Wilson, behind the fence from Home Improvement,
Mhm.
and she's squeeing, but kind of doing the up and down, like like semi stomp, like right in front of you, sort of thing. It's just like,
What you got there?
it's signed.
You gonna put it in a case or something, hanging on the wall?
No, this is my reader. I've already got one that I've got signed. It's graded. It's 9.0.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's on a scale of well, basically 1 to 10. So 9.0 is like really way up there. It's like near mint.
Oh, like a collector's item.
Yeah.
Ah. All right. All right. Well, you didn't spend all your paycheck here last time, did you? Is there anything else you need? Since we're here.
Since you was asking. Yeah. You don't.
You want me to hold on to that for you?
Oh, that's right. I get paychecks now. Bye. And she like goes running back off and to go do some more shopping.
Kids and their new money.
Yeah, it's clearly burning a hole in her pocket. So then the door chimes off again. And now you see Lily come walking in with a very ghetto, toyish Spider-Man.
I am Monsieur Spider-Man. Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
So he walks in and starts opening up the cans of whoop spray, and this like silly string stuff kind of goes flying off from the web shooters.
I don't know who that is, but careful not to make a mess.
So can we see them from where we're walking in?
Yeah, I mean they were just like standing, or at least Trudy is kind of just standing around in the middle of the floor, just like looking, observing, because this is all like, this is the high end of foreign to her.
So
The only way it gets more foreign is if she's sitting in front of a gigantic computer bay, and she's gonna pull a Captain America and go, looks like it runs off of some kind of electricity.
okay, we're gonna walk over to them. Hi, Miss Trudy. Hi, Ben.
Ben is actually wandering around the
Oh, okay.
side end
So
of the shop.
so it's just Miss Trudy.
Yes.
So you're into this stuff too?
I've read a couple. Yeah.
I have read nothing here. Jerome, is this store like? Is it mainly a comic book store, or is it like a gaming store? Like, what's the majority of stuff here?
Most comic book stores at this point are a little bit of both. But as far as gaming is concerned, it's mostly like the card games.
Okay, so there's like comic books on the walls, and there's like comic books on display.
Yes.
But then there's some tables they're gaming at right now.
Yes. You got about like 5 fold-out tables off to the other side of the room that have got a bunch of kids and young adults, throwing down Pokemon or Magic cards.
These what's it like? It's like newspaper print under the walls. Why is it very colorful? But why is it? Why is it? It's everywhere in here. What is all this?
It's a comic book store.
So the books of just comics, just the funnies.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna walk over to a random comic book that's on the shelf and just pick it up and just be disgusted. I'll be like, just looking at it like, the art wise, I'm appreciating, but it's just paper stapled together. So I'm just like, just bring it back to them. I'm like, so is the artwork is nice, but this is crap. It's a staple.
It's supposed to be that way.
It
Like
says
an old magazine.
In the less bending you do to it, the more money it'll be in about a decade.
but it look $3.95. Is that $3.95 for this piece of paper here?
Yes, but that piece of paper could turn into $395.
That's so.
I'm just gonna toss it aside.
Yeah, if some of them, I
So
mean,
you've
not
got
a
you've got
person.
somebody from behind the counter like, hey buddy, careful with the merchandise.
Yeah, you bend it, you buy it.
Do you have books? Like, is it leather bound books or is it harder books?
So you're yelling across the store if you have books.
Yeah, he yelled at me, so I'm yelling back.
So he motions to the other wall. Trade paperbacks and graphic novels over there, buddy.
Merci. Spider-Man thanks you. Walking over to graphic novels.
It was his idea.
The disguise?
Yeah. I just helped.
Okay. Well, he's not raising any eyebrows here, but so I suppose he's doing all right.
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of a nice change. He needs to do something besides leather. Guy has a thing for leather.
I know. He's quite good with it.
Yeah.
But
He said something about working on your boots again.
oh, that's right. Put that
Yeah.
order in a while ago.
Yeah, I just put one in for a corset.
Hmm.
So
I
you don't read any
know
comic
why.
books, huh?
No. Financial Times, more my speed.
I can't think of any nerdy comic books that had to do with that would catch a Venture's attention. I can't think of any.
Yeah.
Can you, Jerome?
Literally none.
Buffy the
All
Vampire
right,
Slayer.
I'm just here to support the kids.
Buffy
Okay.
the Vampire Slayer, maybe Angel.
So who did you bring?
Oh, actually, now that you mention it, I should warn her that you're here. So
Oh,
she pull out my phone and send a text that says, "Lily's here. Be nice."
I didn't realize that she liked this stuff too. I
She's
could always go. I mean, I don't want to.
We had a conversation. She thinks you're a devil worshiper, but
Well,
we'll have to clear the air about all that.
I mean, I have been accused of that. I mean, most goths are accused of that, but no, I don't believe in Satan.
Well, I'm not the one you have to convince, but we'll give it some time uh, to kind of settle before we have a little interlude like that.
If she ever wants to ask me any questions, I'm more than happy to answer as best as I can.
Good. I'm glad she'll appreciate that, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty intense last night. But I felt it was the best that she should know.
We'll get through it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having a friend who at least tried to make things right between our two lineage.
Benjamin, you end up getting a text.
Take a look.
Okay, it's from Jay. Jay is the office manager.
Yeah, exactly. I had to look that up again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and read it.
So he says, a detective came by looking for you.
Did he say what about specifically?
Something about the YMCA.
Okay. Did you say anything, Send?
No, just said I would pass the message on. It was kind of vague.
And did you get the investigator's name?
Yeah. So he sends you his number and name. Detective William Rumbus. Hey, what can I say? I like unique names.
Yeah.
Good
Thanks
intel.
for the update. Anything, everything okay at the office?
I'll be right back.
Sure. Had a lady stop by. Was inquiring about something odd and missing. It sounds like it'd be right up our alley. So I had her fill out a form. Hadn't fully looked into it just yet. She kind of came like right before the I sent the text that came right before the detective came. So I got distracted.
I'll swing by soon to get more info in person.
Text you a thumbs up.
I looked at Jesse like, hey, yeah, you about done looking at stuff? I might need to take off soon. Duty calls.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm sure it's a big duty. I'm ready to go whenever.
It's a big duty. He said duty.
All right. They walk over to Trudy. I assume that Lily is still next to Trudy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, wow, nice timing. Want to head over to Pantheon? Looks like got some information we need to go over. Oh, and yeah, and I like kind of hovering close to people, keeping my voice down a little bit. So, a detective came by the office asking for me regarding YMCA. So,
Interesting.
Maybe they want to throw a case your way.
That could definitely work in our advantage.
yeah. So, Lily, if you're ready now,
Sure.
we should probably both go over.
Miss Trudy, could you make sure that our friend gets back to my place?
Oh, Henri?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. He knows the way. He can call Robert maybe and have Robert pick him up.
Yeah, when I
Lily,
heard
Lily.
Monsieur Spider-Man, I figured that was him.
Yeah, he wanted to come in disguise, so Dad went and got
Works.
him the Spider-Man costume thing. I think at Walmart.
Hmm.
So let me let him know that we're leaving.
Right.
So she'll go and find Henri.
Have I found like the pleather bound like like the omnibus, like they'll have like Spider-Man 1 through 10, that kind of thing, and like Hulk 1 through. So like,
They don't have any of those that are pleather bound, but yeah, they've got those types of trade paperbacks and novelizations of collected comics. Yeah.
but there's no hardcovers there then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of the big
Well-
omnibuses are hardcovers.
Okay, but they're
Hardcovers, but not like collector's editions.
Yeah, no, not like that. They're collected editions in the sense that they've got, like a large run of, like X-Men or Spider-Man or whatever, but it's not like, gold foil cover, special edition of something. It's just like something you would buy because, these issues have been out of print for a while.
so yeah, they're like textbooks the way they're printed.
Yep.
It's just a hardcover. So I'm just when you find me, I'll be holding one of those books, just kind of looking at it, like just kind of confused, looking at the book when you walk up to me.
Are you all right, Henri?
It's a hardcover. It's hard, but they have not taken any. There's no mastery. It's glued inside. It's like, and I take it and I hold it by the edges of the book so that you can actually see the binding and the papers go back. And I'm like, look, it separates right here. It's like it's been glued inside this. It's crap. It's this is not the books. This is just newspapers put together. I mean, this artist over here should be angry that they are putting his artwork in just newspaper print and this hard book but not hardcover. It's. I want to speak to the shopkeep that this is wrong.
Old mass production, and the shopkeeper doesn't have anything to do with it.
If you're going to make something, you put your love into it. It's
Yeah,
you.
but the shopkeeper didn't make them. All he did was order them from the makers. The makers are the ones that are on the copyright, and she'll show him where the copyright is on the book.
Rob Aaron and we have had this discussion. So they make thousands of these books, then, right?
Mhm.
It's just like crapping them out, and it's fine. It's art. I appreciate the art. I do not appreciate the medium of the art. I just put it back. I wanted to go when you were. Wait, did we see other friends? I saw Trudy. There is Benjamin. Is he here? Did you see and say hello?
So that's over to talk to you. She's gonna lower her voice. We might have a case. Work just called, and a detective was asking for Ben, in regards to the YMCA. So we're gonna
Right.
go and meet up with the boss and see if it's a case that they're handing us. If so, then that works in our favor. I asked Miss Trudy to make sure you got back home, or you can call Robert and have him pick you up.
If Miss Trudy would give me a ride, that would be better. So Albert can watch over Zachary, and I want to talk to Miss Trudy about Zachary anyway.
Oh, so I will just see you back home then.
Yes, I will see you at home. I mean, I have a little bit of experience in investigation and police background. About I had to learn how to hide the bodies. This was so I have some experience with investigating. So if you do need any help, I mean, you can let me know.
Yeah, you can let Ben know. He's kind of my mentor. Oh, why don't we walk back over and you can talk to Miss Trudy?
Right?
Okay, and that's what they'll do.
Okay.
I'm ready if you are.
All right. We'll drop Jesse off and then head to Pantheon.
Okay.
Benjamin, I do have some small skills with investigation and police matters, so I can, if you need help, I can help at a later date.
Good to know. I'll keep you posted.
All right.
Then we take off to drop off Jesse and then head to Pantheon.
All right.
Yep.
So it only takes you about 45 minutes to do all that. Drive back to the other haven, drop him off with his goods, and then drive back to the office. So I mean, the lights are still on there. It's about coming up at 10 o'clock at this point.
Head on in, see if
Jay-
Jay's there.
Yep, Jay is just kicking back behind the main desk with his feet up on the side, and he quickly puts them down as soon as you walk in.
Hey Jay, how's it going?
Little slow and to the right.
The new one? All right. So what's this about a new case?
Oh, you mean the girl or the detective?
The lady who came in.
Oh, so he pulls out the paperwork that she filled out. Apparently her brother has gone missing, and it's been about a year, so it's qualifies for a cold case. She got directed to us by the police department.
Gotcha. All right. And I look through, do we have like her name and her phone number and all that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got all of her
Alright.
contact information on there. There's a case number from the police precinct that she filed it with, so she's listed that number on there in case you needed to get any details. The quick skinny on it was that he disappeared. The police believe that he vanished somewhere in Medford, and they chalk it up to a drug deal that went wrong. She believes otherwise.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. I've got to decide which phone number to call first.
Oh, you want me to take one?
Yeah, if you want to deal the case, I'll talk to the detective.
Sure, I'll talk to the lady.
Okay. So you give a call to the lady. Oops, hold on a second. Gotta get her name pulled back up here. And a female voice picks up. Sounds kind of young. She says, "Hello."
Hi, this is Lillian Adams from Path. What are we called again?
Pantheon Investigations.
Pantheon Investigations. I'm sorry, I'm new.
Oh, hi. Yeah, my name is Chronica. I was just in there not too long ago.
Hi. I'm calling in regards to your report about your brother.
Yeah, that was what I just the information I left in there. How can I help?
Well, actually, I was calling to see um how we could help you more. I did kind of look over the report, but I kind of wanted to get a little bit more information. Can you tell me more about the last time you saw your brother?
I saw him a year ago, almost to the day at this point.
Can you
He
tell
had
me?
my brother Eric. He had been um pretty heavily involved in sports. Was trying to get himself lined up in semi pro to get a look from from recruiters and whatnot. Uh, and he had mentioned that maybe he might find a spot on like an arena football team or something. He had been going on that route, and he had been going to Medford regularly for a semi-pro team that was meeting out there in a high school football field. That's where
Do you
they had been playing.
So there was mention of drugs. Was your brother taking drugs or like a steroid?
They'll. I think that they're saying that because Methford, because of the area, it's drug use is very common in Medford. Um, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some people were trying to chalk it up to like steroid abuse or something. I don't know, but my brother was clean,
And you're positive of this.
100% positive of this.
Okay. So did he go missing in Medford?
Yeah,
Or
he he went out for a tryout and never came back.
and do you know where in Medford he did the tryout?
Yeah, she gives you the name of the high school in Medford.
Okay.
They were holding tryouts in the field, but when the police followed up, nobody confirmed that he showed.
Oh, so they don't think he even showed up for the tryouts.
Right.
Okay, that's interesting. And he didn't say anything that he had to do any stops beforehand?
No, nothing.
Like didn't go like to the McDonald's or something?
Mm-mm.
And can I get your name again? I'm sorry.
Her she says her name is Chronica Lickaby. This is a combination of two interesting names that I found.
Litha Bean.
Sometimes I love my job.
Okay, Miss Litha Bean. I appreciate the information. My partner and I are definitely going to take your case, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, thank you. I mean, we didn't discuss a price. Hopefully, you'll let me know how much this is going to cost.
Yeah, I'll talk to my partner about that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Just let me know.
Be in touch. Hangs up.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while that's going on, I'm calling the detective.
Okay. So Benjamin. So you get so you call and get through. Detective Rumbus.
Detective, this is Ben Baxter. I hear you came by the office asking for some information from me.
Ah, yes, Mr. Baxter. When would be a good time to meet?
Well, I have time for the next hour or two if you're available.
I will be there in 5.
All right. See you then.
Okay. So when he gets off, she's going to tell him what she found out, all
Okay.
that information,
Sure.
Okay.
and that she would like to know a price.
Right. Hey, Jay,
Yeah.
we got any standards or a price sheet that we've got to work on to take care of overhead and everything?
Yeah. Hang on one second. He starts rummaging around the desk for the hard copy of it.
Yeah, well, he's looking for that. So the detective will be here in a few minutes, not that far away. So be on your best behavior, of course. Detectives, well, yeah, he's sounding like he's just kind of straight to the point. Get a better read when he's actually in person.
So he pulls out the price guide, and he says, "Yeah, we're looking at about $100 an hour."
Got it.
I will text her. I'll text the client that information.
Okay.
And she'll take her jacket and zip up so she doesn't look as gothic. Hides her corset.
Okay. And then within a few more minutes, a rather tall African American man comes walking in. Unstereotypical. He is well built. He does not have the I sit behind a desk potbelly sort of look that many of the quote unquote detectives of Ashland tend to carry. He is well dressed and is in a suit. Steps in and it just shows his badge, right off the bat. And he says, "You Benjamin Baxter?"
Right. What can I do for you, detective?
Well, you could start by telling me why exactly you were at the YMCA tonight.
YMCA tonight?
Or not tonight, but
Okay.
what was it? 2 nights ago at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to be honest, it's actually working on a particular case. You've, well, might have to do with the recent missing girl case. Honestly, for client confidentiality, I can't go extremely into it, but yeah. Why? Was there something you needed specifically to know?
Well, there was some security footage from the YMCA that made you out, and it looks like several other individuals there, perhaps in a firefight of some kind, and crime scene investigators have managed to pull up the remains of 3 other bodies. In addition to one of the after-hour clerks who was employed by the YMCA. We were kind of hoping you could shed some light on this since you were apparently there.
I'll give you two straight, detective. My case, our case, is my associate Lily. We, well, looks like we stumbled upon a real monster. And I mean a psychopath, serial killer. We were there. We're part of the firefight. I'm sure you've heard of that little girl that disappeared, Amber Alert,
Yeah, we're
recently.
aware. Mm-hmm.
Well, on a hunch, based on information we had on the guy we've been tracking for a bit, figured that she was possibly his next victim. And it seemed that the most appropriate place, based on his MO, was to do his dirty work at the YMCA. We got there. Looked like he had already done his work to people who were there. We just barely managed to get the girl away from him before he ran. This guy, he's a psycho.
Okay, go ahead and roll your manipulation and subterfuge.
Oh, please roll high.
I will spend a willpower for an auto success.
Okay.
Yeah, good time for awe.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I'm
We're
getting
just talking
real
about
close to
the
this.
domination.
Oh, so with Benjamin's enchanting voice that decreases this type of thing by the difficulty by 2.
It sure
What's
does.
the difficulty
That's
then?
gonna bring the difficulty down to 5.
Nice. Okay.
Lily's gonna be in awe now.
1, 2, 3. So with the willpower, that's a total of 4 successes.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. Oh, thank you, dice gods.
Yep, Davy's all. It all hinges on this one rule. So, and he says, and the girl, Elaine Grierson, she's in your custody.
She is. I know it's a little unorthodox, but based on this psycho's MO, guy calls himself Jefferson, by the way. He doesn't like losing. And you probably saw he's extremely good at murder, to just put it bluntly. Wasn't sure if he would come back for her, and didn't want him to go exactly where she was, at her parents' place. She's a little shaken up, but figure within, well, I've got to go back. I have some comrades working, helping us out, keeping her in a safe location. We'll be able to bring her back to her parents really soon here, within the night. Again, just making sure that that psycho isn't out there.
Rather unorthodox indeed. I'm going to have you come down to the station to give an official statement. And of course, they're going to need to take your fingerprints to match them up to any that were there, obviously, for crime scene investigation. But we're definitely going to need you to release the custody of the girl.
Detective, I hear what you're saying, but I hope you can trust me on this one, that all that, it's probably not going to pan out well. And with that, I'm going to try to entrance him.
Okay.
Okay. You're gonna burn another willpower?
I mean, I've got it. I probably should. Let's see, entrance. I haven't done that in a long time. Okay, entrance, that's appearance and empathy. Okay. And this is going to be versus his willpower.
Difficulty 7.
Okay. Does
Enchanting voice does not work with powers.
Okay. I didn't think it did. Okay. I keep forgetting to ask this too. If you have a specialty, does that work with disciplines or no?
Yes.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Nice. That's good. Okay. I will. Yeah. You know what? I am gonna spin a willpower.
Okay.
Auto success. Okay. Didn't need to. 2, 4, 5. So yeah, total of 6 successes. So
Nice.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, this dude is
You are the man tonight.
and
That's gonna last what, like 6 months?
A year. Because 5 successes, you get them for a full year.
Yep. Good golly. All right. So how do you spin this then?
They go, we've been tracking this guy for a while now. I'm ashamed to say how long it's taken. Usually better than this, but this guy knows what he's doing. We're pretty sure he's a copycat. I don't know if you've looked through any type of history regarding serial killers, but this guy's taken a page out of somebody who used to be called the Four Score Killer, actually in Louisiana, mid-'80s. We think he might even be tied to that house that burnt down recently, had the bodies. That was on the news too. Like the same guy. And well, it's tough to say if he had any help from within the police force. I hate to say it, but this guy, he knows how to cover himself. He's got all the skills. I'm not sure that I can, you know, have full trust in everybody. You know, not to shame you guys or anything, but well, Psychopaths, extremely manipulative. I mean, they managed to convince Elaine to apparently leave a comic book store. But I've been able to get from her so far. She's pretty shaken up, as you can imagine.
All right. Tell you what I'll do. This is this is all unorthodox, but I'll give you one more night to produce the girl. And we need to make sure that we get your statement taken. So, to avoid to make this look like it's all on the level, which I'm sure it is. When you bring in the girl, we'll take your statement then.
Fair enough.
In the meantime, you're giving us a lot of information about the house that went up in flames. Do you have anything else that's going to link the two, or is this just your gut, your instinct?
Well, talking to the girl, she, was with Jefferson, and apparently she's saying certain things, talking about, talking about stuff that Jefferson was saying. Like, he just convinced her to head to his place. Then he drugged her or something. She's not quite sure what it was. She was kind of in a daze. When we got to her, looks like he was gonna do something. She was saying that once she came out of her fog, that he was talking about like cleansing her, real serial killer attitude. Like he's changing how he works. I'm thinking that the bodies, the burned out place, probably what he's been working on. Then he tries to burn it, cover his tracks, wears a mask, looks all strange. He seems to be really good at disguising himself. Different people. Sometimes it's just weird masks, sometimes it's looking like others, changing face around, the whole deal.
And can you?
The guy knows what he's doing.
Will you be able to give our? Would you be able to give our sketch artists a visual that they can work with outside of this mask?
I think so. Yeah, we did get a look at him. He was the way he's supposed to look when we got Elaine away from him. This guy's good. If you send people after him, it's got to be a team. And even then, this guy's a monster. We barely got out of there.
All right. Well, I have enough that I can work with for now. I'll be in touch. Make sure that you make her available tomorrow.
Right. Will do. And here, if you need to talk again, like grab a card or something, Panther Investigations, in case you didn't get one of these before.
So he just,
let me know if you need anything else.
Just nods to everybody there, and he goes ahead and exits. And with that, we're going to go ahead and stop for the night. As Davey was saying, Ben is on fire in fuego.
But not in a bad way.
Yeah, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Not in an
Angry way.
Yeah.
Put me out, dang it!
Jerome, I have to tell you, I kept waiting for Jesse to go, I am not a crook. Because you had the Nixon voice down.
Nixon?
Do it. Do it for me.
I am not a crook.
Yep.
Nice. Yep.
Oh,
Awesome.
that makes me think about Governor Chakwas from our Firefly game.
From our fireplace. I did not partake. He was my Bill Clinton. Yeah,
Awesome.
he was a governor of the planet, but also had side jobs and whatnot. So he was running some certain things illegal. I think he had you guys go for illegal whiskey and cigars or something, like basically contraband of some kind.
Cool.
We were not very good.
No, yeah, you guys were not very good.
we were terrible.
Part.
That was a hard game to roll for. That was all.
So I'm not going to be here on the 29th. I'll be out of town.
No worries. But
He'll
next,
be Andre will be busy setting up his own laboratory.
Yep.
there you go.
There you go. Yep.
He's
Uh,
driving
so-
back and shooting. They can talk prices and everything like that.
And so
I
there's-
know you gave me stuff already. I made your boots. They got burned up. That'll be my first thing I make.
I know I burned up your house.
So the game will be 29th. Next game will be 29th. And then tomorrow is our superhero game, which will be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm looking forward to that. Davey, as always, thanks for popping in and saying hi. And for those the others who popped in and said hi and watched for a bit, thank you very much. We'll have the game uploaded to our YouTube channel at some point this weekend. And with that, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight. Take it easy.
Night.
All right. Good night, everybody.